The universe is not outside of you. What you see out there, what you experience in your world is nothing more than the outpicturing of your own consciousness. Everything that exists in your world was first born in your imagination. Now let me share a story from my own experience. Several years ago, when I was living in New York, I found myself in what the world would call a difficult situation. Bills were mounting, opportunities seemed scarce, and the external world appeared hostile. But I knew then, as I know now, that what I was experiencing was simply the harvest of my previous mental activity. You see, my dear friends, the secret lies not in fighting against these circumstances, but in completely relaxing into the awareness of who you really are. And who are you? You are God Himself, individualized. You are the operant power of the universe, expressing itself as you. Let us dive deeper into this magnificent truth. When I speak of relaxation, I am not merely talking about physical relaxation, though that is important. I am speaking of a profound mental and spiritual relaxation, a complete surrender to your divine nature. The first principle you must understand is this: your consciousness, your I am-ness, is God. When you say I am, you are proclaiming the name of God. This is not a metaphor, my dear friends. This is the absolute truth of your being. Now, how does one truly relax and trust the universe? It begins with understanding that what you seek is already yours in the invisible realm of imagination. Whatever you desire, be it wealth, love, health, or success, already exists in what I call the fourth dimension, the dimension of imagination. Let me share with you a technique I have used countless times. I call it the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Before you go to sleep at night, assume the feeling that would be yours if your desire were already realized. Feel the naturalness of having what you want. Feel the relief, the satisfaction, the joy that would be yours. For instance, if you desire financial abundance, do not focus on the lack of money in your current experience. Instead, feel the feeling of financial security. Feel how you would feel if your bank account were overflowing. Feel the satisfaction of paying your bills with ease. Feel the joy of helping others with your abundance. The secret, my dear friends, is to persist in this feeling until it becomes your predominant state. Remember, your outer world must conform to your inner assumptions. This is law. Let me tell you about the lady who attended one of my lectures in Los Angeles. She was struggling with chronic anxiety about her future. She constantly worried about everything that could go wrong. I told her, my dear, you are creating your future with these very worries. Instead, why not imagine lovingly? Why not assume that all is well? I instructed her to spend her evenings just before sleep, feeling the peace and security she desired. I told her to feel it so naturally that it would be impossible to believe otherwise. Within weeks, her entire world transformed. Her anxiety dissolved, opportunities appeared seemingly out of nowhere, and life began to flow effortlessly. You see, when you truly relax and trust, you are acknowledging your own divinity. You are recognizing that the power that created the universe is not separate from you, it is you. Now let me share with you the deeper aspects of trust. Trust is not about believing in an external power. True trust is the absolute conviction that your imagination creates reality. When you imagine something, you are literally creating it on a spiritual level. Your only task then is to remain faithful to your imaginal act. Consider this: every morning when you wake up, you trust that the sun will rise. You don't worry about it, you don't try to make it happen. You simply know it will. This is the kind of trust I'm talking about. An absolute knowing that what you have imagined must materialize in your physical world. Let me give you a spiritual exercise that I have found immensely powerful. I call it the Sabbath. Choose a time each day when you can be completely alone and undisturbed. Close your eyes and mentally declare, "Be still and know that I am God." Feel the truth of these words. Feel the power and presence of your own wonderful human imagination. Then, bring to mind your desire, whatever it may be. But here's the crucial part. Don't think of it as something to be achieved in the future. Instead, feel that you already have it. Feel the gratitude, the joy, the completion. Then, rest in this feeling. This is what it means to enter the Sabbath, to rest in the consciousness of your wish fulfilled. Remember, my dear friends, the universe, which is your own wonderful human imagination, operates by law. Just as a seed planted in fertile soil must grow, so must your imaginal acts bear fruit in your physical world. But you must give your seed time to grow. This is where trust becomes essential. After you have planted your seed, after you have assumed the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you must trust the law. Don't dig up your seed to see if it's growing. Trust that the law is working, even when you can't see the evidence with your physical eyes. Let me share another personal experience. Years ago, I desired to become a successful lecturer, sharing these truths with others. Instead of struggling and striving, I would lie in my bed at night and imagine hearing the applause of an audience. I would feel the joy of sharing these principles. I would feel the gratitude of those who understood and applied these truths. I did this night after night, feeling it to be real, feeling it to be natural. I didn't question how it would happen. I didn't worry about the steps needed to make it happen. I simply lived in the end, enjoying the feeling of it being done. And here I stand before you tonight, living proof that the law works. The secret was in completely relaxing into the consciousness of the wish fulfilled and trusting that the law must operate according to my assumption. Now let me address something that many struggle with: the appearance of circumstances that seem to contradict your desire. Remember this: what you see in the outer world is only the shadow of past faults and assumptions. It has no power to prevent your new assumption from materializing. When doubts arise, and they will, simply return to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Don't fight the doubts. Don't struggle against them. Simply turn your attention back to the feeling of having what you desire. This is what it means to trust. Think of it this way: when you go to the theater to watch a play, you see various scenes unfold on the stage. Some may be tragic, some may be comic. But you remain relaxed in your seat because you know it's just a play. In the same way, learn to watch the scenes of your life unfold with the same detachment, knowing that your imagination is the author and finisher of your story. The key to relaxation and trust lies in this profound understanding. There is nothing to change but your assumptions about yourself and your world. When you change your assumptions, when you change what you believe to be true about yourself and your world, the outer picture must change to conform to your new assumption. Let me give you a practical technique for maintaining this relaxed state of trust. Throughout your day, whenever you notice yourself becoming tense or worried, pause and ask yourself, what am I imagining right now? You'll find that your tension and worry are always connected to negative imagining. Then, consciously choose to imagine something better. Remember, you are not trying to change the outer world directly. You are changing your inner assumption, and the outer world must follow. This, my dear friends, is the secret of relaxation and trust. It's not about making things happen. It's about assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled and allowing the law to operate in its own perfect way and time. Before we conclude tonight's lecture, let me remind you of these essential truths. You are God individualized as you. Your imagination creates reality. What you assume to be true will harden into fact. The outer world must conform to your inner assumptions. Relaxation and trust are natural when you understand these truths. Go forth tonight and test this law. Choose something you desire to experience. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Feel the naturalness of having what you want. Then relax and trust that what you have assumed must manifest. Let me share with you another personal experience that illustrates this principle beautifully. Many years ago, when I was in Barbados, I met a man who was constantly worried about his business. He would come to me day after day, his face lined with concern, telling me about all the things that could go wrong. I said to him, my friend, do you know what you are doing? You are imagining the very things you fear, and therefore bringing them into your experience. I taught him what I'm teaching you tonight, that relaxation comes from the complete acceptance of your own wonderful human imagination as God. I told him, instead of imagining failure, why not imagine success? Instead of feeling tension about your business, why not feel the satisfaction of a thriving enterprise? You see, my dear wonderful friends, the secret lies in this. The feeling of the wish fulfilled is the secret of creation. When you trust your imagination completely, When you relax into the consciousness of your desire fulfilled, you are exercising your divine creative power. Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They toil not, neither do they spin. Yet Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. This is not merely a poetic passage from Scripture. It is a profound spiritual truth. The lily doesn't struggle to become a lily. It doesn't strive or worry. It simply unfolds according to its nature. You too must learn to unfold naturally into your desires. This is what true relaxation means. It means knowing with absolute conviction that what you have assumed in your imagination must objectify itself in your world. Let me give you another technique that I have found particularly powerful. I call it the state akin to sleep. Find a comfortable place where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and allow your body to relax completely. Now, in this state of physical relaxation, begin to feel yourself into the scene that would imply your desire is already fulfilled. For instance, if you desire a loving relationship, feel yourself being embraced by your perfect partner. Feel the warmth of their love. Feel the joy of sharing your life with someone who adores you. Make it real in your imagination. Feel it until it feels natural. Remember, my dear friends, you are not trying to make something happen in the future. You are acknowledging what is already true in the eternal now of imagination. This is why trust is so essential. You must trust that what you have imagined is already done. Let me share with you a letter received from a lady in San Francisco. She had been struggling with chronic illness for years. After attending my lectures, she began to apply this principle of relaxation and trust. Instead of fighting against her condition, she would spend time each day feeling the naturalness of perfect health. She wrote to me, "Nebula, I finally understand what you mean by living in the end. I no longer pray for health. I live from the assumption of being healthy. I no longer beg God for healing. I accept that I am already whole and perfect in my imagination." Within months, her health transformed completely. The doctors were amazed, but she understood the law at work. You see, my dear friends, this is the pattern shown on the mount. This is how creation works. Now, let me address something that many of you struggle with, the time gap between your imaginal act and its physical manifestation. Remember this. Time is not a factor in the fulfillment of your desire. The only time that matters is how long it takes you to feel natural in the state of your wish fulfilled. When you truly relax and trust, you don't concern yourself with when or how. You simply live in the end, knowing that the bridge of incidents will form itself. Your only responsibility is to remain faithful to your imaginal act. Think about this: when you plant a seed in the ground, you don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You trust the laws of nature to bring forth your harvest. The same principle applies to your imaginal acts. Once you have planted the seed in your imagination, trust that it must grow. Let me share another technique I call revision. At the end of each day, before you sleep, review the events that didn't go as you would have liked. In your imagination, revise them. See them happening the way you would have preferred. Feel the satisfaction of these revised events. This practice accomplishes two things. First, it prevents unwanted seeds from taking root in your consciousness. Second, it strengthens your ability to consciously create your reality. Remember, my dear friends, the universe is infinitely responsive to your consciousness. It must be, for the universe is nothing more than your own wonderful human imagination pushed out. When you truly understand this, relaxation and trust become your natural state. I want to share with you a profound truth that many miss. The state of relaxation and trust is not something you achieve, it is something you allow. It is your natural state when you recognize your true identity as God individualized. Consider this: does God worry about how things will work out? Does God struggle to make things happen? Of course not. God simply speaks the word, knowing it must be fulfilled. And you, being God individualized, have the same creative power. Let me give you another exercise to deepen your understanding of this truth. Throughout your day, whenever you say "I am," pause and remember that you are speaking the name of God. Feel the power of this awareness. Feel the absoluteness of it. When you say, I am wealthy, you are not making a statement about your current bank balance. You are declaring the truth about your being in the realm of imagination, which is the only reality. My dear friends, the secret of relaxation and trust lies in this complete acceptance of your own divine nature. When you truly know that you are the operant power, all anxiety falls away naturally. I think of it this way: the sun doesn't worry about whether it will shine tomorrow. It simply shines because that is its nature. In the same way, when you accept your divine nature, creation becomes effortless. You create because that is your nature. Let me share one more personal experience. Years ago, when I desired to travel and lecture across the country, I didn't worry about how it would happen. I didn't make endless plans and strategies. Instead, I would lie in my bed at night and feel the satisfaction of speaking to packed auditoriums. I would feel the joy of sharing these truths with eager listeners. I remained faithful to this imaginal act, trusting that the law must work. And here I stand before you tonight, living proof that what you imagine with feeling must objectify itself in your world. Remember this? The outer world is a shadow, a reflection of your inner assumptions. When you change your assumptions, when you change what you believe to be true, the outer world must change to reflect your new consciousness. This is why relaxation is so crucial. When you truly relax, you stop trying to make things happen in the outer world. Instead, you focus on maintaining the feeling of your wish fulfilled in your imagination, knowing that the outer world must conform to your inner assumption. Trust, my dear friends, is not about believing in an external power. Trust is the absolute knowing that your imagination creates reality. It is the conviction that what you have assumed in your imagination must manifest in your physical world. As we conclude tonight's lecture, I want you to take this truth home with you. You are not a helpless being at the mercy of external circumstances. You are God Himself, individualized as you, with all the created power that implies. Tonight, when you return to your homes, choose something you desire to experience. It can be something small or something significant. Then, as you prepare for sleep, assume the feeling that would be yours if your desire were already fulfilled. Fall asleep in this consciousness. Trust that while you sleep, the law is working to bring about the circumstances necessary for the fulfillment of your desire. For remember, man's eyes are blind to the reality of a thing until imagination has brought it into focus. Go now in peace, knowing that you are the author of your own story. Relax into your divine nature and trust in the perfect operation of the law, for this is the truth that sets you free. Remember, the world is yourself pushed out. Therefore, relax completely into the consciousness of your wish fulfilled, and watch as your world transforms to match your inner assumption. Thank you, and good night. Your imagination creates reality. The world you see around you is nothing more than the outpicturing of your inner states. Every circumstance, every person, every experience in your life is a reflection of your consciousness. This is not philosophy. This is the law by which the universe operates. Now you may be thinking, if this is true, why haven't I manifested my desires already? The answer lies in your understanding and application of this law. Most people live their lives reacting to external circumstances, believing that what they see is the cause of their experience. But I tell you now, it is the exact opposite. Your inner world is the cause, the outer world is the effect. To manifest anything in just 7 days, you must first grasp this concept fully. You are not a victim of circumstances, you are the creator of them. Your current reality is the result of your past thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions. To change your reality, you must change your inner world. Let us delve into the process of manifestation. The first step is to clearly define what you wish to manifest. Be specific. Vague desires produce vague results. If you want to manifest abundance, define exactly what abundance means to you. Is it a specific amount of money, a particular lifestyle, a fulfilling career? The more precise you are, the more powerful your manifestation will be. Once you have clarity on your desire, the next step is to enter the state of the wish fulfilled. This is where many falter, for they continue to see their desire as something in the future, something to be attained. But I tell you now, to manifest your desire, you must assume the feeling of already having it. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine your desire as already fulfilled. See it, feel it, experience it in your imagination as if it were happening now. What would you see if your desire were already a reality? How would you feel? What would you hear? Engage all your senses in this imaginal act. This is not mere daydreaming or wishful thinking. When you imagine with feeling, you are creating reality. For your subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is physically experienced. It accepts as true whatever you impress upon it with feeling. Now, here is where the true power of manifestation lies. You must persist in this state of the wish fulfilled. For the next 7 days, you must live from the end. You must think, feel, and act as though your desire is already a reality. This is not pretending or deceiving yourself. This is aligning yourself with the truth of your desire at the level of cause. Many will tell you that manifestation requires action in the physical world. And while inspired action can certainly play a part, it is not the source of manifestation. The source is your state of consciousness. When you truly live in the state of the wish fulfilled, the right actions will naturally. You will find yourself inspired to take steps that align with your desire without forcing or struggling. Let me give you an example. Suppose you wish to manifest a new job. Instead of frantically sending out resumes and constantly worrying about finding employment, you would assume the feeling of already having your ideal job. You would wake up each morning feeling the satisfaction of going to a job you love. You would imagine conversations with colleagues, the sense of fulfillment at the end of a productive day. You would feel the financial security that comes with your new position. As you persist in this state, you may find yourself inspired to reach out to a particular person or to attend an event you wouldn't have considered before. These inspired actions arise naturally from your new state of consciousness. They are not the cause of your manifestation, but rather the bridge of incidents that leads to the physical realization of your desire. Now, some of you may be thinking, but what if I can't maintain this state consistently for 7 days? This is a common concern. And it brings us to a crucial point, the law of assumption. You do not need to maintain the state perfectly for every moment of those 7 days. What matters is the dominant state of your consciousness. Think of it like this: when you plant a seed in the ground, you don't dig it up every day to check on its progress. You plant it and water it, and trust in the natural process of growth. Similarly, when you plant the seed of your desire in your subconscious mind through your imaginal act, you must have faith in the law. This faith is not blind belief, but a knowing based on your understanding of the law. Just as you know that a seed planted in fertile soil will grow into a plant, you know that a desire planted in your subconscious mind with feeling will manifest in your physical reality. During these 7 days, it's natural for doubts to rise. You may look at your current circumstances and see no evidence of your desire. This is where many give up, thinking the law isn't working. But I tell you now, this period of seeming inaction is crucial. It is the gestation period of your manifestation. Just as a pregnant woman doesn't see the evidence of her child in the early stages, yet knows with certainty that the child is growing within her, you must know with certainty that your desire is taking form, even when you can't yet see it. This knowing, this unshakable faith, is what distinguishes those who manifest quickly from those who struggle. When doubt arises, do not fight it. Simply return to your imaginal act. Re-enter the state of the wish fulfilled. Feel the reality of your desire now. Now let's address a common misconception about manifestation. Many believe that to manifest their desire, they must constantly think about it, visualize it, affirm it. But this approach often leads to frustration and a sense of lack. For when you constantly affirm something, you are affirming its absence in your current experience. Instead, I offer you a more powerful approach. Live in the end. Once you have done your imaginal act, once you have assumed the feeling of the wish fulfilled, go about your day as if your desire is already a fact. This state of natural acceptance is far more powerful than any affirmation. Consider this: when you have something, you don't constantly think about having it. You simply enjoy it, use it, live with the knowing of its presence in your life. This is the state you must assume in relation to your desire. For these 7 days, live as though your desire is already a fact. When you wake in the morning, feel the naturalness of having your desire fulfilled. As you go about your day, let your actions, your conversations, your thoughts naturally align with the reality of your fulfilled desire. If your desire is financial abundance, feel the ease and security that comes with it. If your desire is a loving relationship, feel the joy and companionship as you go about your day. Let it be so natural, so much a part of you, that you hardly think about it directly. This state of living in the end is what truly activates the law of manifestation. For you are no longer trying to get something, you are being someone who already has it. And it is this state of being that attracts the physical manifestation of your desire. Now let's address another crucial aspect of manifestation: detachment. This may seem contradictory to what we've discussed about living in the end, but it is in fact complementary. Detachment doesn't mean not caring about your desire. It means not being anxiously attached to how or when it will manifest. When you are anxiously attached to the outcome, you are actually affirming the lack of your desire. You are saying, I want this because I don't have it. This state of consciousness keeps your desire at arm's length, always in the future, never in the now. True detachment comes from the deep knowing that your desire is already yours in consciousness, and therefore must manifest in your physical reality. It is a state of calm expectancy of knowing the law is at work even when you can't see the evidence yet. I think of it like this: when you order something online, you don't anxiously wonder if it will arrive. You know it's on its way. You go about your life knowing that at the right time, your package will be delivered. This is the kind of detachment you must cultivate in relation to your desire. For these 7 days, know that the seed of your desire has been planted. Know that the law is at work. Go about your life from the state of wish fulfilled, but release the anxious need to see immediate results. Now, let's discuss the role of action in manifestation. Many teachings emphasize the need for massive action to achieve your goals. And while action certainly has its place, in the realm of manifestation, inspired action is far more powerful than forced action. When you truly live in a state of the wish fulfilled, you will find yourself naturally inspired to take actions that align with your desire. These actions will not feel like effort or struggle. They will feel natural, even inevitable. For example, if you are manifesting a new career, you might find yourself suddenly interested in a particular field of study. You might feel compelled to reach out to someone in your network. These inspired actions arise from your new state of consciousness, serve as a bridge of incidents leading to the manifestation of your desire. During these 7 days, remain open to inspiration. Follow your intuition. If you feel a strong impulse to do something, do it. Even if it doesn't seem directly related to your desire. Trust that your subconscious mind, aligned with your desire, is guiding you towards its manifestation. Now, let's address a question that often arises: what if I don't see my desire manifest in 7 days? This question reveals a misunderstanding of the nature of time and manifestation. Time, as we experience it in the physical world, is a constructive consciousness. In the realm of imagination, where all creation takes place, there is no time. Your desire is fulfilled the moment you assume the feeling of its reality with conviction. The 7 days we speak of are not a guarantee of physical manifestation, but rather a framework for focused application of the law. In these 7 days, you are imprinting the reality of your desire so deeply in your subconscious mind that its physical manifestation becomes inevitable. Some desires may manifest in the physical world within those 7 days. Others may take longer. But know this, the moment you truly assume the state of wish fulfilled, your desire is as good as manifested. The outer world must conform to your inner state. It has no choice. Your task during these 7 days is not to make your desire manifest, but to so fully accept its reality, your consciousness, that you no longer feel the need for its physical confirmation. This is the state of true faith, of knowing. Now let us discuss the concept of revision, a powerful tool in manifestation. Revision is the art of reimagining past events in a way that aligns with your desired reality. This is not mere wishful thinking or denial of what has happened. It is a conscious act of reshaping your memory to serve your desired state. For example, if you are manifesting financial abundance, but you have memories of financial struggle, you would revise those memories. You might reimagine past financial difficulties as valuable lessons that led you to your current state of abundance. Or you might revise them entirely, imagining instead a history of financial ease and prosperity. This practice of revision is crucial because your subconscious mind draws upon your memories to create your current experience. By revising your memories, you are literally rewriting the script of your life. During these 7 days, practice revision before you sleep each night. Review the events of your day, reimagining them in a way that aligns with your desire. If you encountered any situations that seem to contradict your desired reality, revise them. See them instead as stepping stones towards your desire, or reimagine them entirely. This practice of revision, combined with living in a state of wish fulfilled during your waking hours, creates a powerful alignment in your consciousness. You are creating a new past, present, and future all at once, all aligned with your desire. Now, let's address another important aspect of manifestation, the concept of everyone as you pushed up. This principle states that everyone in your world is a reflection of your consciousness. The way people treat you, the opportunities that come your way, even the seemingly random events in your life, all are reflections of your state of being. This understanding brings with it a great responsibility. It means that if you want to change how others treat you, you must first change your concept of yourself and of them. As you assume the state of your wish fulfilled, you will naturally see others differently, and they will respond differently to you. During these 7 days, be aware of how you perceive others. Are your perceptions aligned with your desired reality? If not, consciously choose the others in a way that supports your desire. If you're manifesting a loving relationship, see others as loving and supportive. If you're manifesting career success, see others as helpful and encouraging. Remember, you are not manipulating others. You are simply aligning your perception with your desired reality, and others will naturally conform to this new perception. Now let's discuss the role of gratitude in manifestation. Gratitude is not just a polite sentiment, it is a powerful creative force. When you are truly grateful, you are acknowledging the presence of your desire in your life. You are affirming its reality, even before it manifests in the physical realm. During these 7 days, cultivate a deep sense of gratitude. Be thankful not just for what you can see and touch, but for the unseen blessings that are even now unfolding in your life. Give thanks for the wisdom that guides you, the love that surrounds you, and the power that resides within you. Gratitude puts you in a state of receptivity. It opens you to receive even greater blessings. It aligns you with the abundance of the universe. Practice gratitude not from a place of lack, hoping to receive, but from a place of fullness, knowing you already have. Now let's address a common pitfall in manifestation, The temptation to share your desire or your process with others. While it's natural to want to share your excitement, doing so often dilutes the power of your manifestation. When you share your desire with others, you open yourself to their doubts, their skepticism, their limited beliefs. Even well-meaning friends and family might inadvertently introduce doubt into your consciousness. Moreover, talking about your desire as something you want to happen keeps it in the future, rather than accepting it as a present fact. During these 7 days, keep your desire and your practice to yourself. Let your changed state be the only evidence of your inner work. When your desire manifests in the physical world, others will see the proof of the law in action. Now let's discuss the importance of self-concept in manifestation. Your self-concept is the sum total of your beliefs about yourself. It is the foundation upon which all your experiences are built. If you want to manifest a new reality, you must first become the person who would naturally have that reality. For example, if you're manifesting financial abundance, you must see yourself as someone who is naturally abundant, who manages money wisely, who attracts wealth effortlessly. If you're manifesting a loving relationship, you must see yourself as someone who is worthy of love, who gives and receives love easily. During these 7 days, pay attention to your self-talk. How do you describe yourself in your own mind? Are these descriptions aligned with your desire? If not, consciously choose new, empowering self-concepts. Remind yourself often of who you truly are, a divine being capable of creating any reality you choose. Now let's address the concept of Sabbath in manifestation. The Sabbath in this context is not about a particular day of the week, but about a state of mind. It is a state of complete rest from all effort, a state of knowing that your work is done. In manifestation, the Sabbath stage is crucial. It is the state of total acceptance of your desire as an accomplished fact. In this state, you no longer feel the need to make your desire happen, because you know it is already done. During these 7 days, practice entering the Sabbath state. After you've done your imaginal act, after you've assumed the feeling of wish fulfilled, consciously enter a state of rest. Release all anxiety, all need to make it happen. Know that the law is at work, and your only task now is to remain in the state of wish fulfilled. Now, let's discuss the role of persistence in manifestation. Persistence doesn't mean constantly thinking about your desire or repeatedly doing your imaginal act. It means persisting in the state of wish fulfilled, even when outer circumstances seem to contradict it. During these 7 days, you may encounter situations that seem to negate your desired reality. This is where your persistence is tested. Will you revert to your old state, or will you persist in your new, empowered state? Remember, circumstances are effects, not causes. They are reflections of past states of consciousness. By persisting in your new state, you ensure that new, aligned circumstances must follow. Now let's address the concept of dimensional shifting in manifestation. This is the idea that for every possible reality, there is a version of you already experiencing it. Your task in manifestation is not to create something new, but to shift your consciousness to align with the version of you that is already experiencing your desire. During these 7 days, practice thinking from the perspective of the you who already has your desire. How would that version of you think? How would they feel? What decisions would they make? Align yourself with this version of you, and you will naturally shift into the reality where your desire is fulfilled. Now let's discuss the importance of feeling in manifestation. Feeling is the secret. It's not enough to intellectually know that your desire is possible or even to visualize it clearly. You must feel the reality of it. During these 7 days, focus on cultivating the feeling of your desire fulfilled. If you're manifesting wealth, feel the sense of security, freedom, and abundance. If you're manifesting love, feel the warmth, joy, and connection. Let these feelings permeate your entire being, for it is the feeling that gives life to your imaginal acts and attracts your desire into physical reality. Now let us address the concept of the law of assumption in manifestation. This law states that if you assume a state and persist in it, it must become your reality. This is not wishful thinking or mere positive affirmation. It is a fundamental law of consciousness. During these 7 days, consciously assume the state of your desire fulfilled. Live from that state. Think, feel, and act as though your desire is already a fact. This assumption, persisted in, will harden into fact. Let's discuss the role of silence in manifestation. After you have done your imaginal act, after you have assumed the feeling of wish fulfilled, there comes a time for silence. This silence is not just external but internal. It is a cessation of all inner chatter about your desire. In this silence, you allow the seed of your desire to take root and grow. You do not dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You trust in the law, knowing that what is done in consciousness must manifest in reality. Now let's address the concept of everyone as you pushed out in more depth. This principle means that your perception of others is a reflection of your own consciousness. If you want to change how others treat you, you must change your perception of them. During these 7 days, practice seeing others as you would like them to be. If you're manifesting a promotion, see your boss as supportive and appreciative of your work. If you're manifesting a loving relationship, see others as kind and affectionate. Remember, you are not manipulating others, you are adjusting your own perception, and others must conform to this new perception. Let's discuss the importance of self-love in manifestation. Self-love is not vanity or egotism. It is a recognition of your true nature as a divine being worthy of all good things. Without self-love, you may subconsciously block your manifestations, feeling unworthy of receiving them. During these 7 days, practice radical self-love. Appreciate yourself. Acknowledge your worth. You know that you are deserving of all that you desire. This self-love will align you with the frequency of your desire, making its manifestation effortless. Now, let's address the concept of living in the end. This means experiencing your desire as a present fact, not a future possibility. It's not about pretending or fooling yourself. It's about aligning your consciousness with the reality where your desire is already fulfilled. During these 7 days, live as though your desire is already yours. How would you think, feel, and act if your desire were already manifested? Embody that state fully. This is not a technique to get what you want. It is the natural assumption of what is already yours in consciousness. Let's discuss the role of detachment in manifestation. Detachment doesn't mean not caring about your desire. It means releasing the anxious need for it. Where you are anxiously attached to an outcome, you are affirming its absence in your life. True detachment comes from the knowing that your desire is already yours in consciousness, and therefore must manifest in physical reality. It is a state of calm certainty, of knowing the law is at work, even when you can't see the evidence yet. Now let's address the concept of revision once more. Revision is not just about changing your memories of past events. It's about reinterpreting your entire life story in a way that supports your desired reality. During these 7 days, revise not just individual events, but your entire life narrative. See your past as a perfect unfolding that has led you to this moment of manifestation. Reinterpret challenges as valuable lessons, setbacks as setups for comebacks. Create a past that naturally leads to your desired present and future. Let's discuss the importance of gratitude in manifestation once again. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a state of being. When you are truly grateful, you are in perfect alignment with your desire. During these 7 days, cultivate a deep sense of gratitude, not just for what you have, but for what is coming. Be thankful for your desire, as if it's already manifested. This gratitude aligns you with the abundance of the universe and accelerates your manifestation. Now, let's address the concept of the Sabbath state in more depth. The Sabbath state is a state of complete rest from all effort. It is the knowing that your work is done in consciousness, and now you can rest in the certainty of its physical manifestation. During these 7 days, practice entering the Sabbath state after each imaginal act. Release all anxiety, all need to make it happen. Rest in the knowledge that the law is at work, and your desire must manifest. Let's discuss the role of patience in manifestation. Patience in this context is not passive waiting. It is active trust in the law. It is knowing that what is done in consciousness must manifest in reality, and allowing that manifestation to unfold in its perfect timing. During these 7 days, cultivate patience born of certainty. Know that your desire is manifesting, even if you can't see the evidence yet. Trust in the perfect unfolding of the law. Now let's address the concept of inspired action in manifestation. While the inner work of consciousness is primary, inspired action can play a role in bridging the gap between your inner and outer worlds. Inspired action arises naturally from your new state of consciousness. It doesn't feel like effort or struggle. It feels natural, even inevitable. During these 7 days, remain open to inspiration. Follow your intuition. If you feel a strong impulse to do something, do it. Even if it doesn't seem directly related to your desire. Let's discuss the importance of persistence in manifestation once more. Persistence is not about constantly thinking about your desire or repeatedly doing your imaginal act. It's about persisting in a state of wish fulfilled, even when outer circumstances seem to contradict it. During these 7 days, your persistence may be tested. You may encounter situations that seem to negate your desired reality. Remember, these are reflections of past states of consciousness. Persist in your new, empowered state, knowing that new, aligned circumstances must follow. Now let's address the concept everyone is you pushed out one final time. This principle reminds us that our outer world is a reflection of our inner state. Every person, every circumstance in your life is mirroring some aspect of your consciousness. During these 7 days, observe your interactions with others. How are they reflecting your state of consciousness? If you notice any undesirable reflections, use them as opportunities to adjust your inner state. Remember, as you change, your world must change to match. In conclusion, remember that manifestation is not about making something happen. It's about aligning your consciousness with the reality where your desire is already fulfilled. These 7 days are a focused period of aligning your thoughts, feelings, and assumptions with your desired reality. Trust in the law. Know that what you have done in consciousness must manifest in reality. Go forth in the certainty of your divine creative power, knowing that your desire is already yours. For in truth, there is no separation between you and your desire. You are one with it now and always. You are pure consciousness, and everything you behold, every circumstance, every event, every condition in your life is but a shadow, a reflection of your own wonderful human imagination. The fact that you are here, listening to these words at this very moment, is no mere coincidence. It is a divine appointment orchestrated by the depths of your own being. You see, time as we know it is merely a concept created by consciousness to experience succession. In reality, all moments exist simultaneously in the eternal NOL. Therefore, when I tell you to trust the timing of this message, I am asking you to recognize that your own divine self, your own wonderful human imagination, has drawn you to this moment for a specific purpose. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you questioned the timing of events in your life? How often have you wondered why now or why not sooner? I tell you, with absolute certainty that every moment is the perfect moment, for it is chosen by the God within you, your own wonderful human imagination. In the book of Ecclesiastes, it is written, "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven." This is not speaking of some external force determining your timing. No, it is speaking of you, the operant power, choosing the perfect moment for your own awakening. The very fact that you are receiving this message today is proof that you are ready for it. Your consciousness has expanded to the point where you can receive and integrate this profound truth. You see, consciousness is the only reality. And as your consciousness expands, new truths become available to you. This is why you must trust the timing. Let me share with you a principle that I have tested countless times, and I invite you to test it for yourself. The principle is this: your outer world is nothing more than your inner world pushed out. Therefore, if this message has reached you today, it is because your inner world is ready for the transformation it contains. Many of you sit here wondering about your desires, your manifestations, your dreams. You question why they haven't materialized yet. But I tell you, timing is not something that happens to you. It is something that happens from you. You are the operant power. You are the one determining the timing through your state of consciousness. When you truly understand this principle, you will never again question the timing of anything in your life. You will know with unwavering certainty that everything unfolds in perfect divine order, your divine order. For you are God pushed out into expression, and God's timing is always perfect. Now, let me explain something that many find difficult to grasp. The time it takes for your desire to materialize in the physical world is directly proportional to the naturalness of the state you assume. When you truly inhabit the state of your wish fulfilled, when it becomes so natural that you cease to think about it, that is when it materializes. This is why you must trust the timing. For when you trust, you relax into the naturalness of your desired state. When you trust, you cease to wrestle with time. And in that cessation of struggle, your manifestation appears with a naturalness that makes you wonder why you ever doubted. Consider the growth of a seed planted in the ground. It doesn't fret about when it will become a tree. It doesn't compare its growth to other seeds. It simply rests in the certainty of its own unfolding. This is the level of trust you must cultivate in the timing of your own manifestations. You see, the outside world is dead. It has no power to determine when things happen in your life. It is your consciousness, your imagination, that gives life to everything you experience. Therefore, when this message reaches you, it is because your consciousness has drawn it to you at the perfect moment for your evolution. Let me share with you a profound truth that few understand. Time is not a barrier to your desire's fulfillment. Your concept of time is. When you truly grasp that all possibilities exist now, that all states are available now, you will cease to be a slave to time and become its master. The Bible tells us in the beginning was the Word. This beginning is not some distant past event. It is now. Every moment is the beginning. And in every moment you are speaking the word, imagining, that creates your reality. Therefore, trust that this moment, this Enodao, is the perfect beginning for whatever you desire to manifest. Many of you have been waiting for signs for the perfect moment to start living from your desired state. I tell you, the arrival of this message is your sign. The fact that you are hearing these words is your perfect moment. For in truth, there is no waiting, there is only accepting or rejecting the state you desire to occupy. Think about the times in your life when something arrived at what seemed like the perfect moment. Was it not true that your state of consciousness had shifted just before its arrival? This is the law operating with mathematical precision. Your state of consciousness determines the timing of everything in your life. When you understand this law, you will never again say, "I'm not ready," or "It's not the right time." You will know that your consciousness is always ready, that every moment is the right time. For consciousness is the only reality. Consider how many times in your life you looked back and understood why certain things happened when they did. This retroactive understanding is proof that there is a divine order to all things, an order that proceeds from your own wonderful human imagination. The great mystic Meister Eckhart said, "The eye through which I see God is the same eye through which God sees me." In the same way, the consciousness through which you perceive this message is the same consciousness that orchestrated its arrival in your experience. Therefore, trust it completely. You see, what appears to be timing is really the perfect synchronization between your state of consciousness and its outer manifestation. When you change your state of consciousness, the timing of events in your life changes automatically. This is why you must trust the timing of this message. It is evidence of your own inner transformation. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. The very doubt you might feel about the timing of things in your life is itself perfectly timed, for it is through doubting that you come to seek deeper understanding, and through seeking that you come to know the truth of who you really are. Remember the story of Joseph in the Bible? He was sold into slavery, imprisoned, and seemed to suffer many delays before his rise to power. But was any of it poorly timed? No. Every event was perfectly orchestrated to bring about the fulfillment of his divine destiny. Your life is no different. The secret is this: instead of trying to time your manifestations, allow your manifestations to time themselves through your unwavering faith in the law. When you do this, you will discover that everything happens at exactly the right moment, not according to your limited human understanding, but according to the infinite wisdom of your divine self. Many of you have been told to be patient, to wait for the right time. But I tell you something different. There is no waiting in consciousness. The moment you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you have activated the divine timing. Your only task then is to persist in that state until it becomes your natural state of being. Think of it this way: when you plant a seed in the ground, you don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You trust the invisible process that transforms that seed into a mighty tree. Similarly, when you plant a desire in your consciousness, you must trust the invisible process that brings it into manifestation. This message reaching you today is like that seed being planted. It contains within it everything necessary for its full manifestation in your life. Your task is not to question the timing, but to nurture it with your faith and water it with your unwavering assumption that what you desire is already yours. The Bible tells us that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. This faith is not a blind belief in future events. It is the present evidence of an existing reality in consciousness. When you have this faith, timing becomes irrelevant, because you know that what is yours in consciousness must manifest in your experience. Let me share with you a profound truth that has transformed countless lives. The timing of your manifestations is not determined by external conditions or circumstances. It is determined solely by the consistency of your assumption. When you consistently assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, divine timing takes over. You see, what appears to be delay is often divine preparation. Just as a mother carries her child for 9 months before birth, your desires are being carried in the womb of your consciousness until the perfect moment of their birth into physical reality. Trust this process implicitly. Consider how the entire universe operates with perfect timing. The rotation of the earth, the movement of the planets, the changing of the seasons. This same divine intelligence that orchestrates the cosmos is within you, timing the manifestation of your desires with equal precision. The very fact that you are receiving this message now is evidence of this perfect timing. Your consciousness has expanded to the point where you can receive and integrate these truths. This is why you must trust the timing. It is a reflection of your own spiritual readiness. Remember, in the realm of consciousness, there is no past or future, only the eternal now-do. Therefore, the perfect timing for anything you desire is always now, provided you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. This is the secret of divine timing. Many of you struggle with what you call divine timing versus your timing. But I tell you, there is no difference. Your timing, I as divine timing, for you are the divinity you seek. The only thing that delays your manifestation is your belief in delay. When you truly understand that consciousness is the only reality, you will cease to concern yourself with timing altogether. For in consciousness, everything exists, nor you. Your only task is to select the state you wish to occupy and persist in it until it becomes your reality. Let me tell you something that few understand. Time is not a factor in the fulfillment of your desires. It is your attitude toward time that determines when your desires will manifest. When you cease to be anxious about timing, divine timing naturally takes over. You see, anxiety about timing is a confession of lack of faith in the law. When you truly believe that what you have assumed in consciousness must manifest, you become indifferent to time. This indifference is the secret of perfect timing. Consider how a flower blooms. It doesn't force itself open, it unfolds naturally in its own perfect timing. Your desires manifest in the same way when you trust the process and allow them to unfold naturally according to the law of consciousness. The fact that this message has reached you today is proof that you are ready for this understanding. Your consciousness has drawn it to you at the perfect moment for your spiritual evolution. Trust this timing implicitly. Remember, everything in your life, every person, every circumstance, every event is drawn to you by your state of consciousness. Therefore, trust that your present state of consciousness has drawn this message to you for a divine purpose. Let me share with you a secret that will transform your understanding of timing. The interval between your desire and its manifestation is not a period of waiting. It is a period of preparation. During this interval, you are being prepared to receive what you have imagined. Many of you think that your manifestations are taking too long. But I tell you, nothing takes too long when you understand that time is simply the movement of events in consciousness. The only thing that can delay your manifestation is your own doubt and anxiety about its timing. You see, when you truly understand that consciousness is the only reality, you will know that timing is not something that happens to you, it is something that happens from you. Your state of consciousness determines the timing of everything in your life. Consider this: every desire you have ever fulfilled came at exactly the right moment. Not a moment too soon or too late. This is because your consciousness, which is God, knows the perfect timing for everything. Trust this divine wisdom within you. The very fact that you are hearing these words now is evidence of this perfect timing. Your consciousness has expanded to the point where you can receive and integrate these profound truths. This is why you must trust the timing of this message. Remember, in the world of Caesar, the outer world, there appears to be time and space. But in the world of consciousness, the inner world, everything exists now. Your task is to bridge these worlds through your faithful assumption of the state of your wish fulfilled. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. The timing of your manifestations is not determined by your actions in the outer world, but by your assumption in the inner world. When your assumption is natural and unwavering, perfect timing follows automatically. You see, what appears to be delay is often divine protection. Just the fruit must ripen before it can be harvested. Your desires must ripen consciousness before they can manifest in your experience. Trust this ripening process implicitly. Consider how everything in nature has its own perfect timing. The gestation of a baby, the metamorphosis of a butterfly, the changing of the seasons. Your desires operate according to the same divine law of perfect timing. The fact that this message has reached you today is no accident. It is evidence of your own expanded consciousness drawing to you the very understanding you need at this moment. Trust this divine orchestration. Remember, you are not a helpless being waiting for the right time to receive your good. You are the operant power selecting the perfect timing through your state of consciousness. Trust this power within you. Many of you have been taught to believe in external timing and luck and chance and fate. But I tell you, there is no external timing. There is only the timing that proceeds from your own wonderful human imagination. Let me share with you a truth that will set you free. The timing of your manifestations is not determined by conditions in the outer world, but by the consistency of your assumption in the inner world. When your assumption is unwavering, perfect timing follows naturally. You see, what appears to be waiting is really the operation of law. Just as a seed must go through a specific process before it becomes a tree, your desires must go through a specific process in consciousness before they manifest in experience. Consider how many times in your life something arrived at what seemed like just the right moment. Was this coincidence? No. It was the perfect operation of law, your consciousness drawing to you exactly what you needed at exactly the right time. The very fact that you are receiving this understanding now is proof of this perfect timing. Your consciousness has expanded to the point where you can receive and integrate these profound truths. Trust this expansion implicitly. Remember, in the realm of consciousness, there is no such thing as too early or too late. There is only the perfect know-all, in which all possibilities exist simultaneously. Your task is to select the state you wish to occupy and trust the timing of its manifestation. Let me tell you something that few understand. The interval between your desire and its manifestation is not empty time. It is filled with the invisible activity of consciousness, preparing the way for your desire's fulfillment. Trust this invisible activity. You see, when you truly understand that consciousness is the only reality, you will know that timing is not something that happens to you. It is something that proceeds from you. Your state of consciousness determines the timing of everything in your life. Consider the perfection of timing in your own life. How certain events had to happen in a specific order to bring you to where you are now. This same divine intelligence is at work in the timing of your current desires. The fact that this message has reached you today is evidence of this perfect timing. Your consciousness has drawn it to you at exactly the right moment for your spiritual evolution. Trust this divine orchestration completely. Remember, you are not subject to time. Time is subject to you, for you are pure consciousness, and consciousness is the only reality. Therefore, trust that your timing is always perfect, because it proceeds from your own divine self. Many of you worry about missed opportunities or lost time. But I tell you, in consciousness, there is no such thing as a missed opportunity or lost time. There is only the eternal know-how, in which all possibilities exist simultaneously. Let me share with you a profound truth. The timing of your manifestations is not determined by your efforts in the outer world, but by your ability to remain faithful to your assumption in the inner world. When your faith is unwavering, perfect timing follows naturally. You see, what appears to be delay is really the preparation of circumstances necessary for the fulfillment of your desire. Just as a mother carries her child for 9 months before birth, your desires must be carried in consciousness before their manifestation. Consider how everything in nature has its perfect timing. The blooming of a flower, the ripening of fruit, the changing of seasons. Your desires operate according to the same divine law of perfect timing. The very fact that you are hearing these words now is evidence of this perfect timing. Your consciousness has expanded to the point where you can receive and integrate these profound truths. Trust this expansion implicitly. Remember, you are not waiting for the right time. You are creating the right time through your consciousness. For consciousness is the only reality, and everything in your world proceeds from it. Let me tell you something that will transform your understanding of timing. The interval between your desire and its manifestation is not a period of waiting, it is a period of becoming. During this interval, you are becoming the person who has what you desire. You see, when you truly understand that consciousness is the only reality, you will know that timing is not something that happens to you. It is something that happens through you. Your state of consciousness determines the timing of everything in your life. Consider how many times in your life divine timing has worked in ways you couldn't understand until later. This is because your higher self, your divine consciousness, knows the perfect sequence of events necessary for the fulfillment of your desires. The very resistance you feel to trusting timing is itself perfect in time. For it is through this resistance that you come to understand the true nature of your own consciousness and its power to orchestrate all events in your life. Let me share with you a profound truth. There is no such thing as the right time or the wrong time in the absolute sense. There is only your conception of time, and this conception is determined by your state of consciousness. You see, what appears as timing in the outer world is really the movement of states in consciousness. When you move from one state to another in consciousness, the outer world must reorganize itself to reflect this movement. This reorganization appears as timing. Consider the story of Moses leading the Israelites out of Egypt. Was there a wrong time or right time for their exodus? No, the timing was determined by their consciousness, by their readiness to leave the state of bondage and enter the state of freedom. The fact that you are receiving this message today is proof of this principle. Your consciousness has shifted to the point where you are ready to receive and integrate these truths. This is why you must trust the timing implicitly. Remember, everything in your world is yourself pushed out. Therefore, the timing of events in your life is not determined by external factors, but by the movements of your own consciousness. Many of you question why certain desires haven't manifested yet. But I tell you, the very questioning is evidence that you are not yet dwelling naturally in the state of fulfillment. For when you truly dwell in that state, all sense of timing dissolves. Let me share with you the ultimate secret of divine timing. It is not about waiting for the right moment. It is about assuming the right state now. When you do this, divine timing takes care of itself. You see, in the realm of consciousness, there is no future to wait for and no past to regret. There is only the eternal know-how in which all possibilities exist simultaneously. Your task is to select the state you wish to occupy, no doubt. Consider how a master artist knows exactly when to apply each brushstroke. This knowing doesn't come from external timing. It comes from an inner sense of rightness. Your manifestations work in the same way. The very fact that you are hearing these words now is evidence of this perfect artistic timing. Your consciousness has drawn them to you at exactly the right moment for your spiritual evolution. Remember, you are not a victim of time. You are its master. For you are pure consciousness, and consciousness is the only reality. Therefore, trust that your timing is always perfect, because it proceeds from your own divine self. As we conclude this message, I want you to understand something profound. The timing of its arrival in your life is not accidental. It is a direct reflection of your expanded consciousness, your readiness to receive these truths. You see, consciousness is eternal, existing outside of time and space. Therefore, when you operate from consciousness rather than from the limited perspective of the outer world, you align yourself with perfect divine timing. Trust then that this message has reached you today, because today is the perfect day for your consciousness to expand into this understanding. Trust that every desire in your heart is unfolding to divine timing, your divine timing. For you are the operant power, the divine presence, expressing itself through the vehicle of your human imagination. Trust this power implicitly. for it knows the perfect timing for all things. And now, as we bring this message to its close, remember this eternal truth. You are not bound by time. You are the creator of time. You are not waiting for the right moment. You are the creator of all moments. Therefore, trust the timing of this message. Trust the timing of your desires. Trust the timing of your life. For all timing proceeds from consciousness, and consciousness is who you really are. Now go forth in this understanding, knowing that every moment is the right moment when you dwell in the consciousness of your wish fulfilled. For timing is not your master, you are the master of timing. And that, my beloved friends, is the perfect truth of perfect timing. Remember, the very fact that you remain to hear this message to its conclusion is evidence of your readiness to receive its truth. Trust this divine orchestration, for it proceeds from the depths of your own being. For in truth there is only one time, the eternal now thou. And in this NOU, you are already all that you desire to be. Trust this, live from this, and watch as divine timing unfolds perfectly in your life.